What's going on, you guys? This mixtape. I got a different video for you guys. Kobe versus LeBron, one-on-one. Stick around. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend, and let's see who wins. Kobe versus LeBron, one-on-one. So, before this game even finishes, my prediction is Kobe wins. I just think that Kobe has more skill than LeBron does. I know LeBron has put in a lot of hours. I'm not trying to discredit LeBron, but I know that LeBron typically doesn't have the mid-range pull-up or the three ball as well as Kobe does. Maybe stats will tell you different, but just watching them, LeBron is a guy that likes to go to the hole and get hot from three, and vice versa. He can hit you with the post. He's very versatile in getting assists and running the point for you. He's also good at grabbing rebounds, especially those rebounds that you need when the game gets close. And Kobe can get assists, and Kobe can rebound, but I don't think it's as good as LeBron's. Maybe it's a little different because Kobe was a shoot first type of guy, so he can get it when the defense collapses. But LeBron, that's always been his MO because he's been able to drive the ball and be, to me, the most unstoppable guy whenever he's on the move driving to the hole. So, I mean, the defense is just absolutely forced to collapse, and his vision is the greatest ever, if not the greatest, behind Magic, when it comes to making assists, or even Chris Paul. These guys can make some of the best assists you've ever seen, flashy passes and stuff. Throw Harden in there too. So, Nash, I mean, there's a lot of guys that was able to make assists, but I mean, it's different, but it all makes the same, if it makes sense. Are you driving to kick, and does the defense know that, compared to are you driving to score, and because they're double, sometimes triple teaming you, you kick because that other person is open? I mean, for me, Kobe has been my guy since I was a kid. Whenever I first started watching basketball, it was Kobe this, Kobe that, being from LA, Kobe and Shaq, and I really enjoyed those times. Then, growing up and seeing LeBron as well, seeing how he brought something different to the game, becoming great and not having as much help as some of the other players, it definitely became mesmerizing to watch somebody like LeBron, see what he was going to do night in, night out basis, especially his first years in Cleveland. How is he going to fill up the stat sheet? He was going to get about 25 at least, and at least 7 assists and 7 rebounds, but will he go over? There's a lot of times that he did go over, and he did put up great performances for somebody as young as him. One thing I always say whenever it comes to Kobe or LeBron debates, or even, Kobe on Jordan or LeBron on Jordan, primarily LeBron versus any of the greatest players, if I'm making a debate for him, I always say Kobe had feel and Jordan had feel, but LeBron never had a great coach. You can't name one coach that's Hall of Fame worthy that LeBron has had. Honestly, if you look at resumes and things, his current coach right now, Frank Vogel, him being in his going into his 18th year, I believe, is his best coach that he's ever had. And that's honestly because Frank took those Heat teams that LeBron was a part of to to the brink in 2 or 3 Eastern Conference Finals with Paul George and the crew. That's it. Ty Lue was unknown. David Blatt was good, but I mean he really didn't do much in the NBA, and he had LeBron and Kyrie. I can't think of all the other coaches, but none of them have a Hall of Fame resume before LeBron. So that makes a huge difference, because not only is somebody like LeBron putting a team on his back, but he has to also create a good organization behind him. I mean, just look at Cleveland, after he left the first time. They went down, got first picks. There's no culture behind whenever he leaves. The same for Miami. They became a lottery team. Even with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. They still had talent. Yeah, D Wade was hurt and close to the end, but they still had Bosh. Then he started having the blood clots, which was unfortunate. But LeBron leaves and he takes so much with him. I mean, his impact on the game is crazy. And you can say the same for Kobe. But even then, Kobe had played with some great players. And until LeBron left to Miami, everybody likes to say super team LeBron. It's really unfair, because those first few years he didn't have nobody. His best player was Mo Gibson out of that whole time. That's crazy. Somebody, LeBron, where he's getting MVPs and taking his team to be the first overall seed or the best in the East against Big Three Celtics. He's over here putting up monster numbers. I just really think that somebody like LeBron, his legacy will be stained in a sense, because he played with teams and made them the best because of what he did and how great he was. And it wasn't just in the regular season, because in the finals and in the playoffs, he showed up and showed out as well. So I don't know. It's really tough. Kobe had great players. I mean, that 09, 010 seasons, Lamar Odom was great. I believe he grabbed a Sixth Man of the Year one year. And Pau Gasol was still killing it. Andrew Bynum was looking like he was going to be a star, if not a possible superstar. I mean, you can make a debate. After Dwight Howard, Andrew Bynum was the second best center in the league at one point. And he was so young and still raw. So, man, they both play with talent, though. LeBron has made the most with the least. And just on a one-on-one purpose, I just think that LeBron, yeah, he has skills and he can do this and that. I don't see somebody like Kobe losing something like that. This is something that he honed in and game out. I mean, you see somebody like Harden, he does it different, but in a sense, he has that Kobe spirit where it's nobody can guard me one-on-one. Nobody can stop me one-on-one. And there's a lot of times LeBron does that, and, other superstars in the league right now does that as well. But, I mean, to me, these guys are Mount Rushmore. They're all-time greats. They're just built different. And, yeah, LeBron only has 4 rings as of current. But, I mean, the man been to 9 finals? 9, 10 finals? And look at those teams in all seriousness and tell me which team that he should have won. Okay, 2011. Yeah, that was a bad situation for him. But besides that, tell me one of those teams that his team was better than. You can't name one. Those Spurs teams was for real. Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and then they got Kawhi Young. Those were some real teams. Pop made those teams on point. They stopped the Lakers from, going 4 in a row. Tim Duncan was serious. I mean, yeah, LeBron, he had it tough too. He had that first finals against the Spurs. That didn't work. And, 2011 wasn't the greatest. Then all those teams against the Warriors, man. The Warriors were loaded. I mean, those teams was crazy good. I mean, their bench could have easily been starting for some teams. They was just deep like that. And, Kobe, he's made it happen in his ways, grabbing 5. And, man, I loved watching those teams. I mean, Shaq and Kobe was phenomenal. But that 09, 010 team, that was fascinating to see Kobe just dominate in and out. And Pau Gasol was so good. And Lamar was good. Shannon Brown. There was a lot of hidden talent on that team. I mean, what would have happened had LeBron joined Kobe instead of going to the Heat? Like, could you just imagine a team of LeBron, Kobe, and Dwight? That at that time, that would have been unfair. Like, yeah, the Heat was unfair, but just imagine LeBron running point and having Kobe and Dwight. Dwight was hurt, and he was still the best center in the game at that time. Then Andrew Bynum kind of fell out, so it was clear that Dwight was still the best. On something that's not related to Kobe and LeBron one-on-one, man, I really think that 2012, 2013 Lakers could have won a championship. But they was older, and I never bought into D'Antoni. Like, you having D'Antoni, that was clear for Steve Nash or Chris Paul. That would have worked, but that up and down system for an older team or a team that has injuries, that wasn't going to work. Think about it. You can't have a 7 seconds or less team with Kobe where he's older. Pau Gasol was older. And Steve Nash was older. And then Dwight Howard's coming off of injuries. Had it been somebody else that had more system or more flexibility and not just hoisting threes all game, I think that it could have worked. Also, without injuries, I mean, that team was good. Maybe a year or two earlier, they would have done work. Or just even without injuries, man, that team was good. Every now and then I think about how good that team was, and I mean, it's tough. That team was excellent. But one-on-one, I don't know. I think Kobe just had more skill, and I think that Kobe would get the win. But wouldn't be surprised if LeBron won either. I can see scenarios where LeBron wins. I mean, it's just tough. Kobe's skill and determination is unmatched, and LeBron is right there with them. I think LeBron can win. I mean, I think it's a coin flip, to be honest. I think if I ran this back, there could be a situation where LeBron wins. I mean, so many variables, but in the end, this is the result that they gave us right here, and Honestly, I'm not mad at it. If you guys want to see more like this, let me know. I could do LeBron versus Jordan, LeBron versus KD, KD versus Jordan, KD versus Kobe, Kobe versus Jordan. I mean, tell me who you guys want to see. We can make it happen. Again, this is Mixtape. The game is almost over. I appreciate you guys rocking out with me for this time here in my little rant. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about what I was saying, and we can discuss it in there. Again, appreciate you guys. Here's the stats from the game. This is Mixtape, and I'm out. Take it easy, y'all. Stay safe.